The month of Ramadan, it makes the unchangeable changeable.
If this iftar dinner seems a little bit different, it's because Akram Jomaa Islamic Center is a different kind of mosque.
It's amazing to see these kids being involved in an Islamic environment.
Let's give it up for Sister Julia.
It's become normal now to see our brothers and sisters, whether they have children or whether they themselves have disabilities, to enjoy in Ramadan activities or in sports tournaments.
That's my dream. My dream right now, I reach it.
We're inspiring a society to abandon stigmas and embrace everyone with dignity and respect.
These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others.
It saved my life. It saved my life.
Across Canada.
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
In our community. At Magnolia Banquet Hall in Calgary, volunteers from the Akram Jomaa Islamic Center are working hard to set up a special event. It's the month of Ramadan, and the mosque is hosting a community iftar in support of families with special needs and disabilities.
So my name is Fayaz Chili. I'm an imam here with the Muslim Council of Calgary. Iftar is one of the nomenclatures that Muslims use to open their fast. So iftar means, we've been fasting for 16 or 17 or 14 hours a day. And the moment the sun sets, that's when, Muslims come together.
Assalamu alaikum, how are you? Nice to see you.
Iftar is one of the religious observances of Ramadan. The meal is taken just after the call to Maghrib prayer around sunset.
The iftar event, the organizers actually went all out. So it was in a beautiful banquet hall. The chandeliers were beautiful. There were balloons. Everyone was really dressed. It was a formal event.
The brother that's going to come with the wheelchair, you need to pay for his cab.
The mosque is working to build an inclusive community based on acceptance and understanding. Nada Mere, vice president of the Akram Jomaa Islamic Center, is the driving force behind the change.
This is the first time ever in our community that we've had an iftar to honor those with special needs and disabilities and their caregivers. Not having access to participation and lack of belonging is not only a Muslim problem, it's a universal problem. We're inspiring a society to abandon stigmas and embrace everyone with dignity and respect.
Dima Aldahuk and Osama Juhas met and fell in love in Syria, where they both trained as competitive para-athletes. In 2017, they moved to Canada as refugees.
The iftar event was amazing. This is the first time I did the iftar outside home. It's so happy to see many people, so happy to see the Akram Jomaa and Islamic Relief Canada and Mohsen and other organizations thinking of people with disabilities.
Let's go take a photo. We're going to take a photo.
Okay.
On the Ramadan and the iftar, all the family sitting, everybody speak with, say hi. Yeah, it's so nice, yeah.
Akram Jomaa Islamic Center is a Calgary mosque and a place of worship for Muslims. The mosque is a place to gather for prayers, to study, and to observe Islamic events like Ramadan.
A mosque in the Arabic language is called a masjid, and a masjid is a place of literally prostration. But the functionality of the mosque goes beyond worship. It's a place of playing, it's a place of learning, it is a place of gathering, healing, and community building as well. It's important for us to speak about inclusion because if you just look at the verses of the Quran, God says that anybody who has a physical disability, anybody who's blind, God has included them in Revelation. They are part of our community. You can eat with them, you can dine with them, you can do business with them, you can learn from them, you can teach them.
One of my favorite stories that is a very prominent Muslim is chapter 80 in the Holy Quran, Surah Abasa. Abdullah ibn Maktoum was the official caller to prayer by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
Abdullah ibn Maktoum was blind.
And he was appointed for a very critical role to be the face of the Muslim community. I think individuals with special needs and disabilities should be viewed as equal and elevated status, and they should be addressed with dignity and respect publicly.
So when God has included them, when our tradition has included them, when the greatest of scholars had certain disabilities, nobody looked at their disabilities, they only looked at their abilities, and we have an obligation to follow in emulation and embody those very teachings, which, according to our tradition, are definitely divine.
At the mosque, men and women pray in separate rooms, bowing and kneeling, as well as prostration and reciting praises to God. The mosque provides benches for people unable to perform the traditional movements. Akram Jomaa is making inclusion a priority.
So we've received a tremendous honor to be the first mosque in Western Canada to receive the Muhsin certification. It's a certification that ensures that accommodation is being met at various levels, trying to fill the needs of our community with Braille Qur'ans to respite care, to a special needs facilitator, and whatever they need from us.
Muhsin is a worldwide nonprofit organization serving children and adults with any intellectual, mental, or physical disability. A mosque can become certified by following best practices for accommodation.
We've done information sessions, we've done numerous events to raise awareness. We have yearly Friday sermons and khutbahs focused on disability awareness. We have had a lot of educational opportunities and workshops for caregivers and children with special needs. And we are also exploring Islamic education and more inclusive learning for Islamic studies and Arabic.
Awesome. We have a lot of volunteers. As you can see, the families will be coming soon, inshallah, about 7 o'clock or so they'll be coming in.
So my name is Noel Haymore. My position at the mosque, I'm just a volunteer at the moment.
Noel is leading the team of volunteers for the community iftar. She's also attending the event as a parent.
We're here to have a good time, to do an iftar with the parents, and to give these parents a little time away from the child and enjoy their iftars.
I know how it feels as a mom of a special needs. I mean, it's amazing. And it's amazing to see these kids being involved in an Islamic environment. For my daughter, I mean, like, honestly, I could not take her to any place, like, for example, a regular iftar. With last night, she got to do what she wanted. Her voice was a little loud, nobody minded. She ran around, nobody minded, and then she ate first before we broke our fast, nobody minded. And this is what we want for our disabled and special needs families.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community. Akram Jomaa Islamic Center's first community iftar is about to begin at a banquet hall in Calgary. The event honors individuals with special needs and disabilities.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you going to say the Fatiha today?
No, the Ayatul Kursi.
You're going to say Ayatul Kursi? Okay, so I'm going to introduce you and then we're going to start with speeches. You're okay with that?
Yes.
I'm sure you're a pro at it.
Yes.
The room is filling up just in time to break the fast. Dima, a mosque member and disability advocate, is giving an interview to the local news.
This is the first event like this event, yeah. It's very nice for us, and we need to encourage every community to make the events for people with disability and support them. My name is Dima Aldahouk. I'm from Syria. I have 2 kids. I came to Canada in 2017. I am a para table tennis athlete. I win many medals in my country and also here in Canada. And last October, I represent Alberta for table tennis. I win the silver and the bronze medal.
My name is Usama Juha. I am coach bodybuilding and fitness and player for basketball. Right now, I am coach in basketball and fitness for wheelchair for people with disability.
Dima and Osama are a married Syrian couple with 2 children. The youngest has Down syndrome.
As a newcomer here in Alberta. Akram, Jomaa, they helped me a lot when I came, and they provide many service for me. And after that, I met Sister Nada.
Nada Mary is the vice president of the organization.
Dima and Osama are my inspiration. They are so proud and just advocate for themselves every day.
The Arabic word for mosque is masjid.
On my country, no masjid accessible for me, and I become a Muslim, but I never enter the masjid. It's so difficult to love something and you can't do it. I heard the Allahu Akbar on the Eid, I heard everything, but I can't attend.
Different for Canada and my country. Here I have a lot support for people with disability, but in my country I don't have any support for any people for disability.
It's most important to have the accessibility on the mosque. When you feel upset, the first place we're thinking about to come to the mosque, and also our right to come to do our prayer and our religion and to communicate with people, to feel like we are real inclusive on the community.
While the mosque is working on creating lifts for accessibility purposes, Dima currently prays in the back of the men's section. The women's section can only be reached up a flight of stairs.
When I came here, I pray with the men, and just I sit on the behind them. And I feel very shy, but I'm very happy. Yeah, you know, just I feel like I catch all the world on my hand. Yeah, because, yeah, that's my dream. My dream right now, I reach it.
We received the Enabling Accessible Fund, which is a grant for $100,000 from the federal government to improve overall access to our facility for infrastructure, accessible doors, ramps, accessible washrooms, and upgrades to our elevator.
Inshallah, in the future, we'll go to the women's place to pray. Yeah.
On the basketball court at Akram Jomaa, Dima and Osama are playing the sport they love.
I go to school for coaching, and after that, I looking for people with disability what you need support. Go to play sport, go to talking another people.
Sister Nada, we work with her and make an event for basketball wheelchair for people with disability. It was an amazing event. We invite many people to come and to try to play basketball on the wheelchair.
We had wheelchair basketball tournament for people that are able-bodied and people that are in wheelchairs as well, just to be more inclusive and have that interaction and our participation through sports and empower one another.
But when they try to sit on the wheelchair, they find that so difficult for them. After that, we ask them, how is your experience? It's so difficult how you do it, how to catch the balls, how to push the wheelchair and throw the balls on the same time. It's so difficult. They told to us.
Imam Fayez Tilly knows firsthand how challenging it is for able-bodied people to play basketball in a wheelchair.
Brother Osama and Sister Dima, they challenged me and their son to a 2-on-2 basketball game. And in my mind, I said, you know what, this is going to be a piece of cake. We're going to take these guys down. He was doing threes, and I was like, Curry. You know Steph Curry? Right, and boom, you got a swish. I never would have thought, in my wildest of dreams, that Dima and Osama, they're a power couple. This is like, you know, Pippen and Jordan, right? You know, I was playing zone defense and I was playing man-to-man defense, and I got schooled.
I know that have many families, many people, they don't know about the sport for people with disability. We need to make awareness, to make many events just to tell to the community we are here.
Ramadan Kareem, it is a privilege, it is an honor to be here.
This is the first community iftar event that Dima and her family have attended. Dima believes that community inclusion is important and everyone, regardless of their abilities, should be able to participate and engage.
We need to give our voice, encourage the people with disability, they come and speak and say, we are here, we need help, we need your support. That's our right for people with disability to include us on the mosque. But I can't make a change alone.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
There is no better way to start off a iftar dinner than by the recitation of the most beautiful words. Please join me in applauding our reciter, Sister Julia Khalid.
Julia is reciting Ayatul Kursi, a verse from the Quran. The verse is Ayah 255 from Surah Baqarah.
She owned it. Let's give it up for Sister Julia.
Julia is an 8-year-old who has cerebral palsy. She's raising awareness about special needs through her children's book called Julia and Bella. She and Imam AMI-télé are part of the inclusive community at Akram Jomaa Islamic Center.
The Akram Jomaa is a place where youth come to feel valued, to feel honored. It's become normal now to see our brothers and sisters, whether they have children or whether they themselves have disabilities, to come and to enjoy in, Ramadan activities or in sports tournaments.
First and foremost, I would like to express a warm welcome to each and every one of you for attending this special iftar. I would like to
Akram Jomaa Vice President Nada Mary organized this community iftar for all abilities.
We were really sensitive in planning this and making sure that everyone's needs were met, to sound, to providing ASL, to providing respite on-call volunteers to alleviate parents.
The month of Ramadan makes the impossible possible. The month of Ramadan, it makes the unchangeable changeable.
I think we're living in an era of change where underrepresented communities are being represented.
We are currently people with disability, but if they give accessible and they give the opportunity, we can make everything possible.
I think the God will feel happy when makes the mosque accessible for us, because every time just I make a dua, Allahumma, just help me to enter the mosque.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem to everyone.
Calgary Mayor Jyoti Gondak has also come to break the fast.
It is such a pleasure to be with you and to celebrate the very special people that we have in our community and in our families. People have different accessibilities, people have different needs, and so thanks for coming together. Thank you for everything you do in the community and for making our city stronger.
By hosting iftar and other events, the mosque hopes to provide the opportunity for Muslims with disabilities and their families to meet, connect, and gain support.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر خير.
The food was also inclusive. They had some food from, the Indian subcontinent. They had some food from the Mediterranean, African-centered, dishes. So the menu was inclusive. The people were diverse. Every child and every family who actually came there, they were given gift bags and just resources to let them know that if you're in need of any support, then do reach out to us as well.
The dinner was a rewarding volunteer experience for Noel Haymore.
I had a mom sitting on my table, she had tears in her eyes. Honestly, she was crying and she said, you know what? I feel so special. And then, the kids felt special. They had activities, they had gift bags, they left happy. Everybody left happy. And to tell you the truth, it was amazing.
Access to participation and a sense of belonging is imperative. Making accommodation a priority is really important for all faith-based centers, not just our faith-based center. I know what it's like not to have a seat at the table. Being a woman in a capacity of leadership and also being visibly Muslim, I am not favored. I am here because someone advocated for me to be here. And because of that, I felt the need to advocate for others and to pay it forward.
They may be lacking an ability in a certain part of their life, but we know that God has given them so many other abilities that if we give them an opportunity to build on and to sharpen and to polish, they will be able not only to take active part in community, but I think, as our tradition has taught us, century after century after century, they will be able to lead.
Producers Chandra Schatz, Amal Mohammed, Blake Horobin. Writer-director Amal Mohammed. Story editor Nina Stong. Narrator Jim Van Horn. Director of photography Michael Sorrell. Camera operator Danny Kugel. Location audio Brad Martin. Editor Nina Stong. Sound mix Gary Bruckner. Integrated Describe Video Specialist Ron Rickford. Graphics Andrew Antonello. Content Development Specialist Jim Crisco. Coordinating Producer Jennifer Johnson. Director Production Kara Nye. Director Programming Brian Perdue. VP Content Development and Programming John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2022 Accessible Media Inc.